Everybody to the Lunch and Learn for June. We have Phillip and Traci Cameron coming to talk to us about blackberries. They have a little bit of experience. They only have 1,000 plants. So you're going to have to realize that, you got to work to you might have to scale it up after what they tell you. But for most of us, 1,000 plants is more than enough and a bigger bite than I would have taken, that's for sure. So they are from the class of 2024. One more time.
They're doing the wave back.
The wave, yeah. Yep. All right, so we're going to let you get going. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
We're going to switch off because if y'all know Phillip, he can talk for an hour and a half. And then I will talk for 15 minutes. So I figured between the two of us, we'll be right there. And he doesn't understand that because he's like, you're a teacher. You should be able to talk. And I said, well, my kids were junior high to high school. And, then you get that, well, imagine they're all in their underwear. You are not in your underwear right now, but you all just now look like 15 to 16-year-olds so that I can do this. So I'm sure you appreciate that. We're Phillip and Traci Cameron. We have a ranch in Marquay, and it's called Back Porch Farm and Ranch. Got its name because we like to sit on the back porch and look out at the cows and everything. So if you want to come to the Blackberry patch, you can get on Facebook and go to Back Porch Farm and Ranch, and we're in there. And I think that's actually the picture that's there. A little about us, very little. We were married. We've been married for 41 years. High school sweethearts. 3 kids, 3 great spouses for them, 4 grandkids, and the 5th one on the way. They're all under the age of 3. They love coming to our house. All the garden, they all have gardens, so I guess we did a good job raising them. Anytime you have kids in the garden, they love to go out and pick the berries and just eat them straight off the vine. We are the Master Gardening Class of 2024. and lots of times I say, well, why do you take Master Gardening? We kind of did it to be around like-minded people. It's nice being around someone that understands your addictions and stuff like that. I wanted to learn more about landscaping and the flowers part of it, or floral part of it, and the veggies and fruits. What did you want to learn about?
Well, just update, because my grandmother taught me how to plant stuff. I was making sure she taught me the right way. She did, but I wanted to learn more, so I've learned a lot. Yes.
We both we retired in 2021. He was a real estate broker since the 80s. I was a teacher for 12 years, and then we worked together for 22 years in the Cameron real estate office. So we're kind of come as a pair. We moved to Marquay after purchasing 100 acres to fulfill our dream of ranching. We kind of always dabbled in cattle and chickens and gardens and all that stuff, but we thought we can make money at this. Do not do blackberries to make money. I'm just telling you right. And I mean, it's good and healthy for you. We have good, healthy guts, but the type of people we are. We learned this after going to Master Gardening. We are as learn as you go. That's studying before time. Yeah. We put the cart before the horse. We do the trial and error method. I was a science teacher, so I'm into the, let's try it. Let's try it. We learn from our mistakes, so hopefully after today's session, you'll learn from our mistakes too. Who goes out and buys 1,000 blackberries and doesn't know what they're doing? Okay, step 1 is you have to organize, and that is my gig. I'm usually not the talker. He's the talker. He was the real estate guy. I organize. Phillip hates organizing. He's just like, point me to the right direction. So, because I'm familiar with it, you can get on Leon CAD, Central Appraisal District, and you can bring up your property. So I got on there and I measured it out, and I did all our rows exactly. You can see it on there. I had it all. Oh, it looked good. I had exactly how it was going to be. I just didn't realize how much work went with it, right?
Exactly.
But this is about a ½ an acre coming right up our driveway. That was really pretty useless. I mean, so we thought, oh, why not? Let's put some blackberries there. Blackberries have to grow every 3 feet is what they recommend, and 10 feet between the rows. So 3 feet between bushes, 10 feet between the rows, because he mows, so that gets a good zero turn in there. It also suggests a 10 between the rows for ventilation, sunlight, and whatnot. It also suggests, and we did do it basically north to south. At first, he was wanting to kind of do it this direction because this is the top of the hill and it goes down. And I said, no, it says north to south. So we went north to south. For maximum sunlight. And after I had it all mapped out and calculated it, I figured, okay, we need 1,000 berries. I got online and at like $20 a berry, I said, this isn't going to happen. But we did some research and we found a place in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Do y'all know where Prairie Grove, Arkansas is? We didn't either.
It's by Fayetteville.
Fayetteville, okay.
Way up there.
I don't know. I was probably crocheting on the way. And it's called Berries Unlimited. Very, very knowledgeable. God must have just led us to him because he knows everything about berries. At the time, he would give you the little ones, and it was like $4 a berry. So you have to call him for the bulk buying. But very knowledgeable, helpful. We ordered them in January of 2021, and he said that he would have them ready by March of 2021. He informed us, too, of the different varieties. He asked where we live, what zone. We all know that's important. He asked us what zone we were in, and he told us what varieties would grow best there. Again, we were new at this. Didn't realize that the different varieties actually start harvesting at different times. And so he put like a little rotation in our system. You can see here I have these labeled as Caddo, Ouachita, Osage, and then Arc 5s. And so there's like a rotation of when they start and then they die off. Okay, the varieties that we chose, actually the varieties he told us to use. This is one of our berries. These little puppies are big.
So that's a quarter if you can't see it.
Yeah.
So it's quite, yeah.
Like, it's nothing to go around and get berries that big just for, here, hold your thumb up. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a gigum. It's a gigum berry. There we go. We got Floricane, Thornless, Caddos. Now, all I really heard was Caddo. I didn't realize when we bought them, and the Thornless. That was yay, Thornless. I like that idea. I didn't really understand the whole Floricane thing. I was like, okay, that sounds good. But these harvest around June 2nd here. They're 2 days earlier than the Osage. So the next one down, or no, the third one down. They have a very high yield, meaning that a lot per plant, and good food storage. So when you pick them, they last anywhere from 3 to 7 days in the fridge if you get them cooled as soon as you pick them. And they're large, sweet berries and very aromatic. I cannot smell. Are they aromatic?
They do smell, yes.
Okay. Another thing, so my taste buds aren't like in full gear because I can't smell. I asked some people that were picking yesterday. Can y'all hear me back there? Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty loud. I asked them if they could taste the difference because I can't between the different varieties, and they said yes, they can. Can you?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a matter of sweetness between the different varieties. The next one we got, again, you see the Floricane. Didn't have any idea what that was. I found out later. And y'all probably know, but maybe I'll help someone out. Thornless Osage. They harvest around June 4th. So they're 2 to 3 days behind the Caddos. They're next in line on the hill. They're medium to large berry. They're not our largest. They're very sweet. These are actually in high demand because they have such a good flavor. And actually yesterday when they were picking, I asked them which their favorite was, and they picked those. High yields and good storage, up to 7 days. The next one, again, the Floricane, Thornless, Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Yeah. They harvest June 9th. They're our slowest ones. So they're like in the middle of our crop, going from the hill. We do like 6 rows of each. Nobody kind of goes to them until about now. What is today?
Yeah, they're producing.
Yeah, they're starting to produce now. And so the Arc 5s are slowing up. The Caddos might be slowing up a little bit. So that's where we start sending them now into the middle. He did this. He taught us to do this because when you have people come pick, you always have one that's full in bloom, one that started, one that's dying off. So you can kind of always have something for them. These are very firm. So when you pick these, they're not the big plump ones, and they're medium in size. The Primocane, notice this is the difference, Primocane and Floricane. And that's what I'm going to spend a lot of time teaching on today. Prime Arc 45s, these are the Thornies. I was like, no, I like my arms, I don't want. But he talked us into it.
Yes.
He did talk us into it. He said, you've got to have these. These are the biggest, best ones. They produce, they're hardy. And after 4 years, we've only lost one of them. We've lost 80 of the other ones, but we've only lost one. So they are very hardy. You can chop them. You can do whatever you want to them, and they will go back. We don't generally let the public pick these because, like little kids, they are he hates mowing down that lane because it's like,
Yeah. Because I'm bleeding pretty quick. Yeah.
So they are very, and then pruning them also. They become a pain to prune because of all the thorns. But they're very good, and because they're Primocane, they will produce twice. They'll produce in June and again later, like August. So there's a time, like right now, they're not really producing. The Floricanes are dying off, but the Primocanes are getting the blooms on them. So he talked us into it. It was a good thing because those are usually the ones I pick or he picks, and we freeze those and we make ice cream and all this stuff from them.
We did because they were thorned. Our heel was sandy at the top and clay at the bottom. So I said, put the thorn ones in the clay, so if they die, it's no big deal.
Loss.
But guess what? They flourished in
They
love
clay. I don't think they love clay. No telling what they would have done if we.
I know, but they produce really good in the clay.
Yes.
So they're hardy.
Yes, he really did that. He put them down there. Okay, preparing the land. You can see the picture. This is kind of bright here, but you can see the picture of. I love freshly plowed land. I don't know why. I think it's cool. Tilled. I'm sorry, tilled. Okay, since we ordered them in January and we were getting them in March, we had 2 months to prepare, and we tilled, and we tilled, and we tilled. I actually love being.
Tell them what the noise is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you picking that up?
No,
It's the
ice cream we're making. It's the Blackberry ice cream.
they're
So.
making Blackberry ice cream for us. That's what we
Well, yeah.
Yes, you're going to get
There is
Blackberry
some
ice
noise.
cream at the end of this. It's in their making. But when we tilled, I like getting in the tractor with my little Yorkie and just kind of going around. And then he'd come back and make it look good. I just did it for fun. Remember, this was pre-Master Gardener. This is 21, class of 24. So we did not get our soil tested. I'm sorry. We highly suggest everybody do that. We have graduated. We know the drill. But he's been around a good while. You want to tell him about the soil? Or it's just...
I knew they were going to grow good in the sand because I had relatives that had planted them in the same kind of soil, but I didn't realize they were going to do as good in the clay. But they will grow. The blackberries are pretty hardy. Wherever you plant them and it drains well, they will grow.
Yeah, and this was on a hill, so it kind of goes down and drains good. That's where I put about that. Let's see. Okay, making the rows. And by we, I do mean Phillip. He did it the old-fashioned way. He put a tomato stake here, a tomato stake there, drew a line, and I stood at the end, and I was like, nah. And that's how we kind of did it, right?
She didn't want them to be crooked. I was okay with them being crooked.
Is there 26 rows? I think there's 26 rows. The following two items we did after planting. Now we're kind of looking at hindsight and thinking maybe we should have done this when we first planted, and we went back and did this. One of them was, I'll let you tell them about the cattle panels.
Instead of trellises, I said, let's just get cattle panels because I wasn't sure the berries were going to make. I said, you know what, if they die, I can always use the cattle panels to make correct.
Always thinking ahead.
I wasn't wasting the money. So we put the steel post in and put the cattle panels on the steel post. The only thing that I regret I didn't do is for weed eating purposes. Some of them are up 6 inches, but a lot of them are on the ground, and eat your weed eater string up when I'm trying to keep them weeded. So if you do use the panels with the steel post, make you a trellis, make sure it's up 6, 8, 10 inches so you can weed eat around them because they will grow fast. So I don't know if you can see this or it's on your picture. I also put a water line down, and every row has a water line with a cutoff. And I put at every plant, every 3 foot where we plan to plant, I put a 1/16 drill bit up to the PVC pipe. So I got a drip, it's a drip system, and I can control every row. So I usually water 2 rows at a time, and I can control how fast the water comes out. So I water them. We don't need water now. I haven't watered them at all this year because of all the rain. But if it gets real dry during the summer, I will water them, and I'll do 2 rows at a time, just turn it, control it, and just have a slow drip to every plant. And I go down and check the soil, make sure it gets to the root and stuff like that. Yes.
You probably had to water when they first got started.
I did. We did. We watered them a little bit to get them started. And luckily we got good rain right when we planted them. So yeah.
Actually, we planted them in the mud. My knees, my skin looked really good after
And
it.
we'll get to what we had to plant when we get, is that the next deal?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, picking up the plants in Arkansas and planting them. Traveling to Prairie Grove, Arkansas in early March 2021, we had our truck, trailer, our sonic drinks. We go everywhere with our sonic drinks, and we were on our way. If you don't learn anything else from us today, learn about covering up your berry plants with the tarps, and I'll let him tell you about that.
The gentleman told, when he called, he said, "What are you bringing?" I said, "I've got a low boy trailer, 14 foot. He goes, "Put plywood, 2 foot, 3 foot up on the sides and in the front, and bring a tarp because you need to tarp them." So the berries we were picking up were very small, but they did have leaves on them. Okay, so the 1,000 plants went into the trailer, and it was great the first 4 or 5 hours. But the last part of the trip, my tarp split, and the wind was blowing.
And I was
So
crocheting.
an hour from the house, I got out to check them, and
Whoever stop here in the Silver Ford Sport, can they please move their car because they parked on this gentleman's wire that's trying to,
Ooh.
whoever that
Silver Sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the tarp split, and I got out to look at the berries. The ones on the front were pretty good, but about halfway back, we had a stem.
Just
the
sticks.
leaves, the leaves had blown off.
Here they are
So
here.
we had about 500 plants with just the stem. And she said, "What do you do?" I said, "We're going to the house." It was late. I'd been driving 8 hours up there, 8 hours back. We got to the house, took the tarp off, and said, "These are dead. These are alive." But she got out there. I said, "Let's plant." So she
I said, let's
basically,
just try. You said they were hardy.
she planted every plant. So you take it from there.
Okay, the best time to plant, well, these are the pictures. These are the ones that looked good, and these were the ones that the tarp
The wind got.
yeah. And literally, they were sticks. The best time to plant blackberries in Central Texas is late February, early March, and we got them in early March. The reason for this is that this keeps the roots from being damaged from the cold because you're kind of out of you want to be past your last freeze. And then it also gives a chance for the roots to get established before the heat. So it's just a prime time. We waited until after a heavy rain, and then we planted them 3 feet apart. I just cut a PVC pipe that was 3 feet long, and I would plant one and then move over and plant another. Because of our little episode, well, I would have probably done it anyway. I planted all 1,000. I say all 1,000. I think my daughter did 1 row and my daughter-in-law did another row. But over every plant, I was on my knees, and I would say, "For this plant is weak and you are strong. Please protect it and make it flourish." And he answered. Yes, he did, because every one of them grew. So it was good. It worked out.
It did.
So you didn't make it clear. Did you plant the ones that were leaves?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
Yes.
We did.
Yes. They grew their leaves back.
And there were a couple that we didn't even know what variety they were because the little labels didn't even know. So there's 2 rows in the middle of our patch that just says variety. And those are the ones we had no idea.
Did you add any amendments to the soil before planting?
I did not.
Had we got soil tested, we might have done that. Another thing, well, I think we talked about that later.
I did fertilize shortly after that, but yeah.
They're very hardy. If you can put a stick in the ground and it grows, there I am planting them, and there I am praying for it. this day was finally here for planting, and this is a time-lapse video. I only wish we moved this fast. If I did that now, I probably would not get up. And you'll see the tractor in the corner going around really fast. He does not drive that fast. There, look at him do that row.
Wish I could hoe that fast.
There goes the tractor. But my daughter did set up a time lapse. I don't even remember how long it took to do each row, but it wasn't bad. I mean, like I said, it was muddy. You can tell it was muddy. So I just kind of took my hand, scooped out, put it in, PVC pipe, scoop, prayed, put it in, and moved over. But that was us planting. So it all began. That's when it began, March of 2021. The first year, they just grow, and we just learn, and we learned a lot. And this is where I'm going to tell you a little bit about the difference between Primocanes and Floricanes. That was probably my biggest learning experience. Let's see. I think I've got in those little containers, if you want to look at them, but I've got them up here. The Primocane, prime means first. It's the first year canes, and they do not bear fruit. Okay, when you go out there, if you see that it has 5 leaflets, it's a little brighter. See, there's 5 leaflets on this. They're wilted right now, but there's 5 leaflets on here. If they have the 5 leaflets, this is not your growing. This is the one that is forming this year. Next year, it will have berries on it. Okay, let's see. The cane is a lot more flexible. So these can get really tall if you let them get out of control, and I'll just pick them up and like weave it because it's very flexible. They'll grow very tall if you don't prune them back, which you should prune them back. Now, you know how everything in life kind of has that asterisk, except for this has an asterisk too. Except for if you buy Primocane producing plants. Now, remember when I showed you the 4 that we bought, they all said Floricane, Floricane, Floricane. And then it said Primocane for Primark 45s. That's because these are the ones that will actually produce twice in a season. The Primocane will not produce in June because it's the first year cane, but it kind of tricks you. It will produce in fall. So it does produce on the Primocane, but just late in the season. After everything else is gone, it'll produce. So there are there's several varieties of Primocane producing. But your traditional berries, the Primocane is just there for looks. It's going to come back next year and be your Floricane, and that's when you'll get your berries off of it. These don't produce anything. Let's see. There's the 5 leaflets. You can look, now I see it really easy. You can look out there, and the ones that are a lighter green, and they're like prettier and flowier is a word? No. Those are your Primocanes. Then your Floricanes. These are the ones that are a little bit more ugly. They're darker, they're smaller. This is not flexible at all. This cane is not flexible at all because it has to carry the berries. So I'm assuming that's why it has such good structure to it. But these are the ones, flower. These are the ones that are going to produce the flowers that will turn into berries. So Floricanes and Primocanes. These are the ones, let's see, 3 leaflets. There's one right there with the 3 leaves. Darker green, cane is more woody. It should be, in the season, it should be about, I'm 5'5", so it should be no taller than this. Yes, ma'am.
So do you not trim the 5-leaf ones? You only trim the 3 leaf?
And I'm going to get to pruning. Yes, you do trim them. You do trim them because that'll cause lateral branching. Okay, so your Floricanes, when you're picking them, they should not be any taller than 4 to 5 feet. So about right, well, I'm 5 foot, yeah, right about here. That's where we are. And it makes for better picking too, because you're not like way up there or way down here. We continued to learn during that first year. We learned the process. I just made this up. We love to have people come out. We had the Marquet Library kids. They came out. There was about 30 kids that came out, and we taught them about the Blackberry growth cycle. And that's what I have those cups out there for. I gave them all a cup, and in there it has each of these if y'all want to open it up. And I gave them this sheet, and they had to go on a scavenger hunt and actually go out to the berry patch, and they had to cut a Primocane, they had to cut a Floricane. I told them that This one they did not have to do, and they did not have to bring me back a bee. I told them don't do those two. But they had to bring back a flower, a greenberry, a flower to greenberry, a green to red, a red to black, and a blackberry. And they did excellent. I mean, they had that little piece of paper, and they came back and they placed them all on there, and then I certified them all as blackberry pickers. We had a good time. But it's I don't know, I guess when you just walk by them every day, you don't notice this stuff, but there's definitely a pattern, and it's fun to kind of watch them grow.
One thing about the blackberries, you do not, a lot of people, it's not like a tomato, so you don't pick it half red. You've got to wait till it gets black. You can't pick the red to black and expect it to turn. It will
They do not ripen.
It needs to stay on the bush until it's black.
You don't have one that's half eaten by the.
I know.
Well, that's right. The birds love them black, and they'll eat the red to black too.
Yeah, they like these two right here. This
and for
one
some
and this
reason,
one.
wasp and yellow jackets like those. You'll catch them on top, doing whatever they're doing to the berry. And stink bugs really love blackberries. So
Oh, yeah.
we're always messing with those. We got so many berries. I'm not spraying the blackberry. I don't do that. I just figure let the wasp get theirs, let the birds.
We
pick
share.
We share with
With Mother Nature.
We do have 2 rabbit 7 that have, when I was mowing, that make their nest. I don't know why they make them in the berry bush. I think for protection. And so when I'm mowing, they don't get too far away from the nest. So we got some really gentle cottontail rabbits.
Oh, actually, I was in the patch last night, and I heard this little, and I turned around. He was probably from me to Phillip. And I just kept picking, and I looked, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and just sat there the whole time. And then I just kind of went my own way, and he went his own way. But it was kind of neat.
Well, we got a picture on it. I was mowing, and this one jumped out of the nest and come out and said, so I just stopped my mower, kept it running, took a picture. There's a picture coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And birds, there's bird nests. They get up in there, and we have all kinds of bird nests in there. So.
And it was great to see the kids do this, and y'all will be very proud. A lot of these kids have been to your programs, your summer camp that you're doing right now, Haley, right? A lot of these kids have been to that. There's junior master gardeners. All the kids knew the pollinators, because I said there's a bee up there, whatever. And this can do it, and this can do it. And I was so proud of them for knowing that stuff. But so maintenance, this is where you're going to take over.
What was the picture? Okay.
You can
Okay.
get over
Well, the maintenance basically is I should weed eat more, but I try because the grass grows up. She did buy me a mulcher last year, and I am trying to make my own mulch
Oh, wait,
now.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
You're on the second page.
I'm on the second.
Sorry, get out.
Oh, okay. We're just
I'm
getting
sorry.
started.
I know. You're
Go
on the
ahead.
second page.
Go ahead.
Because you don't like
You
pruning.
cut me off. I remember that. You say I always cut you off. You cut me off.
I know. Pruning. This is very, very important. And we probably didn't get good at this until yesterday. When I was studying this, I realized what we were doing wrong. This is what will give you the biggest production. Pruning of the Floricane varieties, those first 3 types that we had. Late winter, early spring is when you want to cut your last year's Floricanes. Once the Floricanes have the berries, they die, they're gone, hasta la vista, no more. They turn gray, and that's what makes your berries look ugly, those little gray sticks sticking up. You need to get those out of there. It says they're easy to determine because they're completely dead. They will no longer produce berries. Prune this year's Floricanes. Now the ones in February they look a little bit alive. Those are this year's Floricanes. They were last year's Primocane. So they're going to be the ones producing. You're going to cut those down. You're going to find the 3 or 4 best canes, cut the rest of them out, cut any low-lying ones out, and you're going to cut those down to 3 to 4 inches. Because what that does, 3 to 4 feet. Yeah. Well, some people do a clear cut. We haven't done it, but you might lose this season, but sometimes they'll cut them all down. But 3 to 4 feet, and then it'll cause lateral branching. They'll start coming out the side, so you won't have them going up real tall. The Primocanes will become very tall as the season progresses. I have pictures, and I'll show you. The good thing is, back in late winter, that's when you want to cut the new Floricanes, the old Primocanes. Cut the old Primocanes out, trim the new Floricanes, And then in the middle of the season, you want to come in and cut the new Primocanes, the ones that are not going to have berries, because they will get tall and they will be they're beautiful. I mean, but they get everywhere, don't
And
they?
they'll break off.
And well, here they are right here. He cut these this morning.
Cut some.
You don't actually call that pruning, you call it tipping. And there's two kinds of tipping on this year's Primocanes. There's a hard tipping, which we usually do, and a soft tipping. If you're on your toes, the soft tipping is the best. As soon as that new Primocane comes up, you can just go through, not that I'm going to do it to 1,000 bushes, but you can just pinch the very top of it off to where it's like 2 inches. Just when it gets up to where you want it to be, you just go through and pinch all those new Primocanes off mid-season. And then that'll cause the lateral branching for next year. We don't usually do that, right?
No.
We've got grandkids. So we usually get busy with grandkids. What ends up happening, ours become very tall. And so we go in and we have to cut the big branches off. And that's called hard tipping because you're cutting and you actually have to prune them off.
And goats love those.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Let's see, I think I covered usually anywhere from 8 to 12 plus, some of those are even bigger. The good thing about these are when you do the hard tipping is you can propagate these. So I told Philip, I said, hey, go cut some of those and we'll carry them up there. I'm not good at that. Y'all are welcome. We're going to put them out. If you want to grab some, take them. If you're good at propagating, go for it and see if you can make it happen. And tell us if you do. But so the good point of hard tipping is getting those branches to propagate. What we do instead is they come up in the lane.
The runners come off. Yeah.
Yes. And he'll just get them from the lane and move them to a spot where one might have died.
Let me tell you about that real quick. When they come up, because I've started doing it this year, you dig around them, probably when it pops up, they get about this big. I'll go around it with a shovel. And as long as you leave about 2 inches, 3 inches from the main part of the berry, that thing you just put it in a bucket and it'll take off. It'll come. So I've got a lot of berry plants in containers now that I've harvested out of the middle of the rows because they'll come up out there. So yes.
So 2 ways to make more plants is the hard tipping or digging them up out of the lane. And like I said, y'all are welcome to these, or if you ever come out and want to just chop off the top of ours, we're okay with that. We don't have to do it. That's why we like people coming to pick berries, because we don't have to do it. It takes us, if we both do it, it takes 4 hours. If one of us does it, it takes 8 hours to pick the entire 1,000 rows. And we have to do it at least every other day.
Bushes, yeah, every other day.
Yeah, every day. Pruning of the Primocane varieties. We're just now getting into this, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you stuff I don't know. This is when, down by our thorned ones, when they start, I still haven't figured out when to clip those because they've got flowers on them now that are going to be producing in August. So I don't want to tip those and then miss out on that crop. Now, there are people that do single crop and double cropping. Okay, we're still learning too. But you can arrange it to where you get more if you do a single crop and you have your Primocane or the ones that we have. Okay, I'm going to turn this video on, but you'll see me, I don't know if you can see, these little gray branches, those are last year's Floricanes that have died. I'm going to cut those out first. And then these brown ones are this year's Floricanes. I'm going to trim those all down to 3 feet because I don't think the volume's real good, right? So you won't be able to hear me. And then these things that are coming out like these are the lateral branches. You'll see me cut those down to 10 inches. So the main canes, you keep 3 to 4 main canes of this year Floricanes, and then they will be lateral because you cut them last year. They're going to have laterals on them. You cut those down to 10 inches, and then you'll have lots of berries. But I'll let you, one down to 999 to go. But, okay, that's where I'm cutting out the dead ones. And you can see I grabbed that little gray.
And you can definitely tell they're dead.
Yeah, see, you can tell that one really good that it's gray. And then there I'm cutting I'm figuring out which ones are the best ones. I cut that one down to 3 feet and drag it out because that's how tall I got last year. And then cut that one down to 3 feet. I cut some low-lying ones because we want them to grow more up.
Yeah, we didn't know that to start. We were cutting them, but the berries, the first couple of years, you have to reach down, and I'm getting too old to reach down.
Yeah.
So
And then
anyway,
this is the
so if you
10-inch.
cut them, they're right at your level. That's what you're trying to do. Get them right there at the level 3 foot and the lateral, so it's easy to pick. You're not bending over.
And then see, the laterals are 10 inches. So you can see that with the laterals coming out.
What time of year did you do this, Tracy?
Late February, early March.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some Primocanes that are overgrown. See, they get big. That's these right here. These are overgrown Primocanes. These are the ones that are not going to have the berries on them. So it's just wasted energy going to those. And then this is what it looks like when you trim them up. So it definitely makes it easier for picking because you can see the berries. This is an individual one that's overgrown. You can see all of these that are too tall. And we do this mid-season. And then there it is when we've cut those off.
How far down do you cut those?
Everything's like 3 to 4 feet. Yeah. And then when you cut it, it'll start growing out.
What's your mid-season?
Well, about a couple weeks ago. Mid-pruning season, I guess is what I want to call it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just wondering a date approximately.
Oh, we just kind of look at them. Now, if you go sooner, you can do the soft tipping where you just pinch the top of them off.
Yeah, that's what should have been done.
Yes. Okay, now this is you. Sorry. Now,
Okay.
we can.
Okay. Well, we didn't put down, if we had to do it again, I probably would have got some plastic or got some weed control stuff and went down both rows and had it where because like I said, when you're planting those up and the way we did it, you're always going to have grass. You're always going to have different stuff growing in there. So I spend a lot of time on the weed eater. I'll come in the house, and shake, and because I'll do 6 or 7 at a time and go up down there and take a break. But it's a lot of weed eating. But
I will brag on them. They look marvelous because of his weed eating.
They don't look marvelous right now because I got a weed eat. But she did buy me the chipper. So, and what I've been doing with the ones we cut, I made a big pile. So I actually been making mulch. But this year we use that mulch in our flower beds instead of the berry bushes. So next year I'm going to start putting them in mulch and just to kind of control the grass and stuff on them. But we don't spray anything. I don't spray anything close to blackberries. I don't want to kill them. Everything's organic. I do put on, and I don't know where fertilizer's on there. Do we pass it? I've tried organic.
There it is right there, fertilizer.
Okay. I've tried organic fertilizer that we got from Amazon. I've tried, most of the time if you research blackberry and stuff, and a lot of berries, it's 10/10 or 20/20. So that's usually what I fertilize with. I did a test last year. I did some rows with 10/10, some rows with 20/20, some with the organic. To be honest with you, the organic did not produce like the 10/10, 20/20. But I am going to try something new this year. I've got some rabbits now.
Yay! What kind are they?
Yeah. So I'm working on getting a deal underneath there to collect the rabbit manure, and we have goats. So I'm going to start getting all my rabbit manure and stuff. So next year I'm going to try several rows with rabbit manure and goat manure mixed and see how that does. Because I'd rather do the natural organic stuff than putting the 10/10, 20/20. Yes.
When do you fertilize?
I think
Right there.
but yeah, that's what
Early spring and midsummer.
This year, I think I did it right at the end of February, 1st of March. Yes. And I just go by what it says. So much, it tells you how many ounces and I measure it with a cup and I just sprinkle it around, around the root base of each plant. And again, I'm doing 1,000 bushes. So it don't take long, but you just sprinkle it out there. And I kind of watch the weather too. I'd like to get I don't want a flood. I want a good soaking rain. Of course, we can't control that, but since we started, I've never had to turn the water on to fertilize. We've always gotten a good rainwater. And rainwater does it so much better because one year we didn't get the rain and I had to water them. I don't think they produce like they did like this year. We're getting the rainwater, all this rain.
Yes.
I do have community water. One thing we tried, we got a couple rows we planted blackberries on that are little. We tried blueberries. We were going to do 2 or 3 rows of blueberries, but until I took the gardening class and I forgot who the speaker was, I went up to him afterwards and I said, man, he goes, you got community water? He goes, they ain't going to grow with, you can't do that with blueberries. So I didn't have any luck. The blackberries don't care. They don't care if it's community water, well water, whatever. But the blueberries that we planted did not make it. We did it 2 years in a row. They just didn't take during the drought. I watered them with the community water. Just didn't grow.
Some people are good, yeah.
But the Master Gardener class, I went and bought some big tanks, and I got a big barn. So now I'm on a rainwater harvest. Taking the Master Gardener has been very expensive. No, I'm just kidding.
We always We always say that $200 for the class was the down payment.
Yeah. So we go to class, oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
But-
I've got a hummingbird garden, yeah.
But I will tell you real quick, Teresa told us about the juicer
Well, no,
thing.
we're gonna get to that.
Okay,
We're gonna
I'm
get
sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So it's just, controlling, y'all are not gonna plant 1,000, I don't think, but just, it'd be easier to control your weeds and stuff
There's
with
about
weeder. Yes,
pests.
ma'am. Yeah, well, I put like in between the rows because, you got ant beds and stuff like that. I usually do a granule, like a seven granule stuff in between, just trying to, because I don't want kids to get ants on them and stuff to kind of control between the rows. But I don't put anything on the berries themselves. But like I said, you're going to get stink bugs and wasps and stuff like that. And we're just sharing that with them because I'm not going to spray the berries with anything. Yeah.
Yeah, our biggest problem is the birds, probably.
Yeah, the birds pecking them.
Yeah, they'll eat it. We do have the stink bugs, the rabbits. Yeah, we have bird nest in there, but the kids come and they love that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, let's just. We share. We have enough.
If
But
I only had 5 bushes, I'd probably rig up some kind of net or something.
Yes.
To keep the birds away from, if the birds find them. But the birds, if they're going to get 1 out of 40 berries on the bush, let them have it. I mean, I'm not going to.
the only thing we don't share is snakes. I have too many kids and too many people in there for snakes, and I think but he keeps it. That's why he weeds.
That's why I try to keep it weed-eated. I have killed a couple of snakes up, but nobody's ever seen one picking. So
Okay, that's grandbaby 1 and 2. They love berries, but it's okay. Harvest time. Again, this is when they start harvesting. We kind of already went through that. So it goes down our hill and then it comes back. Well, it starts at the arcs and then we go up to the top and go back down. The best time of day to pick is early in the morning because all the sugar, I didn't realize this, the sweetness, all the sugar will retreat from the heat down into the roots. So you want the sugar to stay up in the berry. Late afternoon is okay, but immediately, as soon as you can, get them in the fridge, like right away. Avoid midday picking, not only for the berries, but yourself. It gets hot out there. The blackberry does not ripen after you pick, so only pick those that are totally black. I've even read that shiny black you want the dull black. If it's still shiny, you'll get the best peak in the dull black. Start to chill as soon as possible. I mean, we carry them in and put them straight in the fridge.
wash them.
Well, it says to wash or not to wash. They actually suggest not washing them if you can. If it's just rained and they're pretty clean, I'll just put them straight in the fridge. And you wash them as you eat them. If it's not rained or there's a lot of bugs or something like that, I'll get real cold water and start rinsing them and then dry them, maybe put a fan on them, dry them off, then put them in the fridge, or I'll just put them directly in the freezer because we have so many that we just freeze them all the time. Oh, in the freezer, they'll last 9 to 12 months. Yeah. Statistics, how long do berry plants live? Wow, that's a big range there, 15 to 40 years. I think it depends on how well you take care of them and what variety you have. But he says, I'm going to be dead before these are. Well, you said that.
I did say that.
The average yield per plant is 5 to 10 pounds, and it depends on the age. The younger the plant, the more. Like I said, I think we get between 80 and 100 pounds every other day. The growing conditions, was it sunny, water, soil? Did you prune properly? We could probably get a lot more if we were better at that. Did you fertilize, and how's your pest and disease control? Okay, now what do you do with them when you have a freezer full of berries? Jellies and jams? I am a good job. Oh, that's what I want to tell you about this. If I didn't learn anything else, this is the thing to learn. Teresa told me about this. Every time I made berries, I would get it. Am I too? Okay. I'm sorry. I can hold. He can hold. Here you go. I would use a strainer and a spatula and just drive myself crazy, cry. I think I cried a few times.
Yeah.
I did cry a few times. And then she said, why are you doing that? You haven't had a strain. Is it called strain? Steamer. Okay. So I was like, send me that. I got on Amazon right away. I think we paid $80 for this one. I think they're like $100 and something now.
Only 40.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
What happens is you put water in the bottom. We'll hold that one up. You put water down there. And then it has a little groove. And then you put your berries. You can do grapes. What else do you use this for?
Elderberry.
Elderberries.
It's the wild grape, so you don't burn.
Okay.
Plums.
and you put the grapes in here,
That's good, yeah.
and then it drips down into there, and then it comes out this tube. And I have a special little drawer that pulls out, and I put a cup in there, and it just drains so pretty purple right into that thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
No seeds.
Yes, I've gotten so addicted to this. Yes, ma'am.
I had one of those, and I was living up north, and I was doing grapes,
Uh-huh.
and I would fill it up with grapes and strain off the juice and get a jar of, good drinking juice. But then I'd go up in there and start smashing.
Oh.
A jar that was about half full, which later you could come back and make jam or jelly.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice, nice. So you got good use out of yours too. The only problem I had was I got so used to this now. The other day I went and put it on the stove, and I went and took a shower, did my hair, put my makeup on, and I forgot about them. And I can't smell. And my daughter-in-law said, you got something cooking? And sure enough, that's why it has this little stuff at the bottom. So anyway, it's wonderful because you can really set it and go. There's cheesecakes, ice cream and milkshakes. We got some ice cream for y'all. We do pancakes, muffins, cupcakes. And this part right here, we have some wonderful people in our class of 2024, that have made us liqueur. And we've had some wine made, and we've actually made margaritas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My specialty for the kids is blackberry infused lemonade. They love that. But you can make all kinds of drinks with it. We actually carried the grapes to a winery, and they made wine.
Yeah, they made us some wine.
Two were good. I mean, two were not good. One was good.
I've had people in the last year or two come and pick them, and they bring back wine. Now, we just got a bottle. It was pretty good. Yes.
Now, the liqueur is awesome.
Yeah.
Christy's responsible for that. And we have a neighbor that they made some moonshine. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. But you don't drink very much. You drink little cups. Yeah.
Also, I would have never thought about this, glazed meats. This is a blackberry wine steak sauce. It's really good. And of course, the wine evaporates out of it, but it's really good on steaks. And then this is honey jalapeno blackberry chicken wings. And this is Grandchild 3. We won the wing ding contest for blackberry chicken wings. So she's carrying our little chicken trophy. But that was fun. And those are very good. Matter of fact, the guy that judged them, he came up to me and said, I've never had those before. I could eat those all day long. All I did was take the jelly, heat it up, put some onions, jalapenos, a little bit of honey in it, and just toss the wings in it. A blackberry salad with spinach, and other ideas. If you have your blackberries that you kept in the freezer and it's now been a year and a half, when we have the library kids come, we tie-dyed backpacks. So we used the blackberries for tie-dye. You can use it for painting. You can also make Play-Doh out of it and let the kids play with that. That's fun for them. So just because you don't eat it, there's other things you can do with it. So why? Well, they taste good. And there are tons of health benefits. I did not realize the health benefits. And y'all can read all this because half those words I can't pronounce anyway. I will tell you want to plug those back in so they can start. The little grandson that I had, he can tell you the fiber. Yes, there's a lot of fiber. Because I had to change the diaper after he just was inhaling them, and it works. So they're really good. Immune system, diabetics can eat the blackberries. They're very low in the glycemic index. They say if you eat 1 cup of a berry a day, I always thought it was the apple, but it's the berry. And the number 1 berry is blueberry. Second is raspberry. Third is blackberry. So if you eat a cup a day, that's supposed to help you do all of that. And there's the website if you want to go see that. And again, did I say they taste good? But I know the little seeds in them are kind of irritating, but it's worth it. And that's about it. Did we end in time?